Hello, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, that is 20th of March, CUET PG LLM has conducted its paper. So, today we are going to discuss some of the questions that appeared in the paper. So, let me first give you a brief information with regard to the pattern of the paper. So, the paper contained 75 questions, and the time for solving those questions was 1 hour and 45 minutes. That is in total around 105 minutes. So I have seen various videos on YouTube wherein the many information givers has told that the paper also contains questions with regard to the general aptitude or the GK part. So let me clearly tell you, there were no questions of GK or aptitude. It was a plain law paper. So without wasting much of time, let's discuss the questions that were asked in the paper. So the first question that I encountered was with regard to the jurisprudence. So let me tell you the jurisprudence part. It is the most important part for your exam. Also, there were various questions with regard to the minor acts. So what you have to do for this exam, you have to go through the minor acts very thoroughly. That means major act is someone that you devote your college time a lot. So there were very less questions with regard to the major acts, and you have to go through the minor acts as well. Minor acts forms the most important part of the exam. I think there were 10 to 12 questions from jurisprudence part and the international law. This alone constitutes the 10% or 20% of the paper. So what you have to do, you have to make your two subjects very strong. First is international law, the second is jurisprudence. So also there were questions from the minor acts like the Marine Insurance Act, okay, the Contempts of Court Act, and also it contains the trademark, okay, Competition Act, and so on, so on. So let's discuss the question. The first question that I encountered was about the theory that is based on Savagny. It was, the first question was, Savagny's theory is based on which law? The options were Roman law, Greek law, Spanish law, and there was one more which I cannot recall right now. So the answer of this question was Roman law. So Savigny was a propounder basically from a historical school of jurisprudence, and he also propounded the Vogtgist theory. Vogtgist theory, sorry. So this theory basically means the law is the spirit of the people. Okay, so we will not go into the details. If we, that will take a lot much more time. So this those the second question was international sales contract. The standard international sales contract is basically taken, or which convention is with regard to the international sales contract, a standard international sales contract. So answer for this question was Vienna Convention. Vienna Conventions gave the standard form of the international sales contract. The third question is the in case of delay in furnishing the information. Okay, in case of delay for the furnishing information under the RTI Act, what is the penalty for that? So the answer for this question is rupees 250 each day, which will increase or which will go up to 25,000. The fourth question is with regard to the dishonor of checks. So this question was basically basically of the case law, wherein it has given four options, and you have to choose which one is not a case related to dishonor of check. So there was one option, Indian Overseas Bank. So it was not a case of dishonor of check. It is related to Negotiable Instrument Act, but with regard to the companies, section 141 of the NIA. So the Balraj Taneja and the Modi Siemens, these were the case of Dishonor of child. Okay. And the fifth question was with regard to the Contempt of Court Act 1971. So what is the penalty for contempt? So it is we all have studied, it is 6 months imprisonment is all that one can have in the contempt of courts. Okay. Another question is with regard to the international law. So it was a statement which says individual is the ultimate unit of all laws, international or municipal. Who quoted this statement? So the answer was Lauter Patch. Okay, Lauter Patch was the answer. So another question is with regard to the which maxim is there for the presumption in regard to the constitutionality of a statute. So this question was from interpretation of the statutes. So you have to look this kind of specific legislations or specific acts, thus from which one can think no questions will be asked. They ask questions from that section only. So the next question was with regard to the Marine Insurance Act 1963. The question was that the Marine Insurance Act applies to the land risks only, the inland risks only, both land and inland. So the answer is both land and inland. Then again the next question was with regard to the who propounded the auto limitation theory. This again is a question of jurisprudence. And the answer for this question is Jennings. Jennings is the answer of this question. Okay. Now coming to the next question, it is with regard to the CRPC, that the term set off is used in which section of the CRPC. So this is again a very vague question with regard to the CRPC. So the answer for this question is section 428 of the CRPC contains the word set off. Another question from CRPC was with regard to its date of operation and something. So this was a more of a logic question, and it could be solved through elimination method. So CRPC, one more question was, this was with regard to the operational date. It said the CRPC came into force on 1st July 1974. So the July is not, it is 1st April and 1974. So you can answer these questions by elimination method. Another question with regard to the chronological order. This is something I saw in the paper. There were a very lot of questions. These questions were from what I have been told. These were from the UGC NET syllabus. So you have to prepare them in their sequence, the order, it was not specifically mentioned arranging in ascending or descending order. So it was just sequential order. You have to set them up. So the questions that I encountered with regard to this sequence was, first was there were various protection acts, like the Wildlife Protection Act, Forest Act, Environment Protection Act, and the NGT. So you have to what you have to set them in a sequence. So the answer for this question was the Forest Act, which came in 1971. Then comes the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Then the Environment Protection Act 1986, and then comes the NGT 2000. Okay, so this is how you have to set these questions. The next question was author in relation to a musical or artistic work is. So the answer for this question is composer. The second question, the next question is res nulli's rule. Res nulli's rule is, res nulli's basically means the property that belongs to no one. Okay, I don't exactly remember the options given, but yes, this was the question. And the next again was who first coined the term criminology. So this is I think the favorite question of the LLM paper. So it's Raffaello Grifalo. And the next question was, who propounded the term victimology? It's again Mendelssohn. Is the correct answer for that. So, and the next question is with regard to the constitutional amendment bill. So it can also, this question can also be solved by the elimination method, wherein it was given that that the prior permission of the president is required for the introduction of the bill in any house of in any of the in either of the houses. So this is a wrong statement. It does not require the prior approval of the president. So you can solve these questions by elimination method. I have solved many questions from the elimination method. So, and that was also the correct way of solving these questions, because the level was, because the level was, I would say, moderate to tough. Yeah, because I have been not that much acquainted with the local laws. That means the minor laws, you can say. So for me, that I have solved most of the questions from logic and deduction. So these were the certain questions that I have remembered and I have told you.